assessment of Chris Evans' first game start?
Yeah, I thought he played hard. I mean, I'm sure if you asked him, he probably wanted to make more shots. But, you know, Chris is starting to get more comfortable on the defensive side of the ball. And it's hard for these kids. He's a freshman. And all of our freshmen, Jarius, Winston, Chris, defense off the ball is the last piece of the puzzle. Because what happens is you can drill it and they understand it, but the game is moving. The game is moving at a different pace. So what they learn is 1 or 2 steps away from where you're supposed to be is a big thing. So I think they're all learning from that. So I'm not, you know, these are hard games. I mean, these games, this is harder than finals week because this is the week all the stuff's got to be turned in. Like you guys are nodding your head, right? All the stuff's got to be turned in. You got papers, you got presentations. Some of these things are worth 40% of your grade. It's harder than finals. We don't play during finals week. So it's a little bit more difficult to be, you know, locked in all the time. So all in all, you know, I was pleased with that, pleased with his effort. We got to get healthy. You know, we have to get healthy. So we still haven't had our team at full strength in a while. So we got to get back to being healthy.
So a lot of those easy baskets that Columbia got at the rim, were those
Yeah.
sort of one step away type of
Rotation play.
Yeah.
You know, we call it the ultimate tag spot. So there's a ball screen, and the post is hedging the ball screen. So the big is rolling, and you're either on the wrong side of him or one step or not high enough, and you're in trouble. And so that's you know, that's something that, again, we can drill it all day long. The game's different. The game's different. And that's the one thing all freshmen have to learn is that, and so much of them put so much of the judge how they play on offense, but those baskets is what should make them more upset because they know what to do. It's just repetition and getting better at it. He was great. And I thought he played with a lot of patience. When Nico plays with patience, he's a really good player. When he plays around the rim with patience, keeps the ball high, you know, he's a great passer. And, you know, I thought he's our best ball screen defender. So I think when he's, you know, when he does that, then it gives us a different dimension. And it's not points. It's just a presence out there that he gives us that, you know, Jarius is learning, and it's hard for him to play 2 positions. And especially when we have to change coverages based on the other team sometimes and what they do. That's not easy. And it's not easy. It's a hard thing for him, and that's kind of why sometimes I think he looks a little bit, you know, thinking too much.
You thought on Jerry starting his first start today? Was to go with Stone in the lineup?
No, it was, he was going to start. If we would have played A&M, he would have started that game. I thought he played really well in the Providence game. He was our best. Without Nico, he's our best rebounding big. Nico wasn't even cleared to play till yesterday, so he had 1 half day of practice to get ready for this game after how many days off he had. And then we lost Jordan Chapman in practice. He sprained his ankle, landed on something. We got more weird injuries, you know, fluky injuries that we just got to get healthy.
Coach, the team started out the second half on the wrong foot. Columbia retook the lead a couple minutes into the half and saw a 15-1 run. What did you tell your team in the huddle to rejuvenate the offense?
Stop shooting threes, go to the basket, get out in transition, raise our energy level on defense. Maybe not as that nicely as that, but that's really what the message was. And we did. We went right to the basket. Kai went to the basket. Winston went to the basket. You know, they're kids. You just got to keep learning.
Jim, I understand coaches always look at tendencies of other teams, try to stop their strengths, attack their weaknesses. With what happened with the Ivy League team beating Villanova last night, is there a little more wake-up call?
Well, I mean, I think I would take that across all leagues. There are no bad teams out here. Like when I played 100 years ago, there was a huge difference between the Big East teams and other teams. That margin, it's not as big as it was. There's a lot of good players out here. There's obviously a lot of really good coaches. So just look across the country. It's not Ivy League teams. It's a lot of good basketball players. College basketball, the parity in college basketball, to me, is at an all-time high. I really believe that because you got teams like this team shoots. They hit 11 threes a game, coming into this, and they're 2-6. They're making 11 threes a game. There's some really good teams in the Ivy League, obviously, but in every league, their teams are ranked, and there's none of that intimidation factor that used to be. I just think it's great for college basketball. These games are hard. You got to play hard. You got to play for 40 minutes, so it gets you ready.
Jordan Chapman had 28 points
Well, we didn't know till after practice yesterday, so we had to shrink our package, and we had to teach Chris the plays from the 3 at 11 o'clock today. And I thought he did a great job with that. So, I mean, that's what you have to do. I mean, you have to, it's not as easy as everybody says. Why don't you just put those 3 guys out there? Well, we run over 40 plays. So they all play position, so Winston has to learn the 1 and the 2. Chris is usually just our 2, but with Jaddy going down, Vin and Chris had to be moved to the 3. Jarius has to learn the 4 and the 5, so it's not easy. So we shrunk the package, and, I didn't want to confuse him, so it was easy to teach Chris, and he did a great job trying to learn it.
Winston, what kind of a wake-up call was it for you guys in the huddle that, without specifics that Coach might have said, but after that run to start the second half?
We came out with we didn't come out with enough energy, so coach just told us to pick it up, and to feed off each other's energy. So that's what we did.
Okay.
One more question.
Yeah.
Getting back to Jarius, is the light bulb coming on?
I think so. Again, it's funny. I've been reading these articles throughout the country. There's some other young guys who are highly, highly rated players, and what ends up happening to these guys, there's the speed of the game, or half-court basketball. They end up almost overthinking, or they're driving the ball. I can drive by this guy. Well, you do it at the wrong time. There's 3 other players there. So knowing when to go. It was great to see him get out in transition today, because that's where they're free and easy and they can play, and that's when he's at his best. And then it's just got to be enough to just keep playing the right way, and the game will get to you. I think, so many guys get caught up in, all players, the way they think they should get themselves going is by creating a shot or scoring. And what ends up happening is you end up taking a very difficult shot. And sometimes it's not in the flow of the game. So I think it is coming on. I think he's gotten much better. He may not see it, but I see it. His understanding is better. His movement is better. He's a little more aggressive going to the basket. He's making free throws. So, yeah, it's a long season. He's 8 games or 9 games now, into his college career. And it's most freshmen, I don't care who you are, most freshmen don't figure this out till like January. Most freshmen don't figure it out. The game is moving, they're trying to move, and he's in a little tougher spot because he's playing 2 spots. Now that Nico's back, he can concentrate back on the 4. Winston has picked it up a little bit quicker, but that's a credit to him. But it's not that way for everybody. It's just what it is.